Hello everyone, my name is Andrew. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I'm sorry that this is coming out later than what I planned for. I got very busy this weekend, but regardless, I'm here to talk about the 10 books that I read in the month of August. Yes, August. I don't know why it took me so much brain power to figure out what month we're on. I read 10 books this past month, which is fine. It's not what I was shooting for. I think regardless, that's still a good amount. I'm still reading a lot more than I would have if I didn't do these videos. So let's just get to it. Alright, so the first book that I read in the month of August was Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Natural series. If you don't know what this series is about, it's basically these group of teens who work with the FBI to work on these cases. So they bring in this group of teens called Naturals, and they have naturally gifted with crime scene investigation with different aspects of it. So this is the second book in that series. I can't necessarily talk about the plot of this one without spoiling the first book. So I recommend the first book. I really do recommend this series overall. This book was so much fun. A joyride. I read this book pretty much all in one sitting, I think, for the most part. And I ate this up. I even bought it on my Kindle so I can read it without having taken a book. That's how much I liked it. I gave this book 5 stars. I love this book. I thought this book was so much fun. Yeah, I love this book. I think this book is amazing. It's really good. The next book I read was Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I already did my video on the next 5 books. It was for the 24-hour readathon, so if you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. I really enjoyed this book. I thought this book was really good, really well written, and just really emotional. It's a lot of emotional aspects that I wasn't necessarily expecting while reading this book. But regardless, I thought this book was really good. The writing is really good. The characters, the setting is fun. If you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about this bank robbery that goes wrong. It ends up turning into a hostage situation, but not in the bank, at an open house for an apartment listing. I had a really good time with this. I can't wait to read more by Frederick Bachman. I think he's such a talented author and just a really good writer overall. His stories and character work is just phenomenal. I will say that I only gave this one 4 stars and not 5, but it's a 4.5. I find myself kind of wanting the story to pick up more. There's a lot of back and forth, with flashbacks and interviews with the police and stuff like that, but the payoff is worth it. I just wish that it got there quicker in a way, but that's just me. I still think the book is really good, and I had an excellent time with this, and I really do recommend this book to other people who want to read literary fiction. This book is sad. I would recommend looking up the trigger warnings for this book. It's really good. I think this book is amazing. So the next book I read was The Roommate by Rosie Danan. This is an adult contemporary romance. This is a very spicy romance book, I would say. A lot more than I expected because I didn't know the plot going into it. If you don't know what this book is about. So this book follows Clara and Josh. Josh is, I would say, some sort of film star, but, in a different sense. Clara's longtime crush invites her to move to LA, basically on a whim, and she does it because she loves that man so much, but he doesn't really love her back. She moves there, and little does she know that the guy who invites her over to move in with him has to go on tour with his band. So she ends up having to room with Josh, and that's how they meet. And that's when the relationship starts. It's close proximity. It's really good. I thought the writing in this was excellent. It's really quick paced. This is a short book. I think it's around 300 pages. It's a really good book. I thought this book was fantastic and just really entertaining. I liked it a lot more than I thought it was. And I can't wait to read the next book in this series, which is The Intimacy Experiment, if I'm not wrong. I really like this one. 4 stars. Next, I have Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series. It follows Jasper and Sloan. Jasper is this well-known hockey goalie. Goalie? Yeah, I think he's a goalie. Well, he's a hockey player regardless. And Sloan is a ballet dancer. Jasper is their adopted brother in the Eaton's family. And Sloan is technically their cousin. But since Jasper is adopted, it's fine. Like I said, it's their love story. I thought this book was entertaining. It's not my favorite in the series, like by a long shot. My favorite is still Heartless. That book was phenomenal. But this book is still fun and well written and entertaining, and I really enjoyed my time with it. There's just certain aspects where I'm just like, okay, let's speed this up because there's not enough tension between these characters. The tension wasn't like necessarily there because it was created by themselves in their head. Nothing was really stopping them from getting together, just each other, and it just made it kind of annoying. I'm just like, come on, just admit you guys like each other, and then you like, it would have made this book so much shorter. But I still enjoyed the writing with it. I still enjoyed our time with it. I especially liked when we got to see the Gold Rush Ranch series characters show up in this book. I've never read that series. I do have Off to the Races on my TBR though. I enjoyed it. I think this book is so entertaining. I originally gave it a 4 stars, but I'm thinking I'm gonna give it a 3.75. Like, that's very nitpicky, but it doesn't give me that 4-star feeling like the rest of the series did. I think 3.75 is fair. The next book I read was Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This book, you guys. Okay. I really loved this book. I think this book was phenomenal. This just might be one of my favorite YA romances I've read in a very long time. Yeah, I gave this one 5 stars. And let me explain why. So if you don't know, this is a sequel to the book Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. I can't really explain what happens in this book. This is like a true continuation of that story. It's not like a time period where it breaks off like from the first and second. It pretty much takes place like the end of the summer vacation after the first one. And this basically follows each character, Rowan and Neil's first year in college, how they do it as a long distance couple and just their everyday lives in the college and just them trying to adapt. What I do like about this book, I really enjoyed the way they handled the mental health aspects of both characters, mainly Neil. I don't like how this book is advertised as young adult because there's quite a bit more spicy scenes than I expected. Personally, I think young adults shouldn't necessarily have any spicy scenes, but regardless, this book was great. Phenomenal. I gave this one 5 stars. I think this book is really good, really entertaining. I love Rowan and Neil. I think their characters work so well together, and just everything about this book was great. I think it almost made me cry. I don't know how. I don't remember what scene exactly, but I felt the emotions that were going through them, and I really connected with the characters in that moment, and that's why I gave this book 5 stars. It's so good. I really recommend Rachel Lynn Solomon as a writer in general. Granted, I've only read 2 books by her, but both of those books were really good. The next book I read was The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I thought this book was just okay. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of fun with this one, not at first at least. I thought the book was immature and just not well written, but it got a little better like towards like 50, 100 pages in, but still it wasn't like anything to write home about. I thought the book was just fine. I think it could have been better. I don't know what to say. Regardless, this book was fine. I gave this one 3 stars. This is a hockey romance. Honestly, I don't think I will continue with this series at all, or I don't know if I'll read anything by Elle Kennedy. But I'm glad I read this one just to know what it's about. Yeah, not my favorite. The next book I read was Swiftt and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I really enjoyed my time with this book. I'm a huge fan of country romance right now, like cowboy romances. That's my thing right now. I really love it. I love this book. I thought this book was really good. I really enjoyed the characters. I really enjoyed Ada and Wes's like banter together. I guess it's technically a workplace romance in a way, but I really enjoyed this book. I thought the book was such a blast. I cannot wait for November when the 3rd book comes out. I think it's Lost and Lassoed. Speaking of new books, I got 2 new books. Let me just show you real quick. Quick tangent to make the video longer. I got Wild Eyes today. Legit. It just came in the mail today. Can't wait to read this. I don't know when I'll read it, but I'm adding it to the fall TBR cart. I have a feeling I'm gonna need more on this cart by like November, to be honest. So it's probably good that I put it on here now. And the next book I got was A Modern Divination. I bought it on Penguin Books because you can't buy it on Amazon anymore. Because this author is being traditionally published, and I've been wanting to read this ever since Gina talked about it, but I just kind of forgot. I really am excited to see what this book is about and just to see what a fun time this will be. I mean, this cover, yeah, look at that. Oh, that cover is gorgeous. I'm really excited to add these books to my fall TBR. But anyways, I didn't even give this book a rating. I gave this book 4 stars. This book is fun, really entertaining, and just really quick pace. I love how short these books are. The next book I read was Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe. I don't know why it took me this long to read it, but I'm so glad I did. I thought this book was legit, absolutely amazing. I think this book was phenomenal. I had no idea this book was set in the 80s. I didn't know the characters were Mexican American. I was surprised by that. I loved the representation for the Mexican culture. I also really liked just the romance between both characters. I love how their family was accepting of both of these characters. I just really love this book. I think this book is phenomenal. It still follows Aristotle and Dante. They meet at a pool, I believe during the summer. They become friends and they quickly realize, not quickly, but like towards the end of the summer, they realize there might be some attraction between each other. I thought this book was really good and I love the way this book is written. This book is beautifully written, like so well written. It feels like I'm reading poetry sometimes. I gave this one 5 stars. A lot of 5-star reads this month. Like, oh my god. The next book I read was Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Oh, Elsie Silver, the woman that you are, because you are such an amazing author. I love you. I'm talking to the book, not to Elsie Silver. I love Elsie Silver, too. But Wild Love, amazing, beautiful. Yeah. I can't think of any other adjectives, but I do really love this book. I think this book is so well done. Yeah, it's really is perfect. It is amazing. I really love both the characters. I love Ford. I love, what's her name? Rosie. This book is phenomenal. I can't wait to read the second book in this series now. But this is a single dad romance. Billionaire romance, mind you. This book is fantastic. It's also brother's best friend. A lot of tropes in this one, but this one is so well done. I gave this one 5 stars too. This one is so much fun, so well written, so entertaining, a really quick pace. I flew through this book. I'm granted I fly through all of Elsie Silver's book because she is just such a good writer. But this book is really good. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's amazing. It's amazing, babe. It's amazing. And now you're on the last book. And I'm not gonna lie, this book was kind of a downer for me. I had such high hopes for this book, but I did not meet them in the slightest. And I really wanted to like this book, you guys. I really did. It just wasn't clicking for me. That is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. Okay, let me talk about it. This book is just too damn long. I knew that when I bought it, but I thought it would have been worth it. It was not. There's no reason for this book to be over 500 pages. I don't know what Miss Lauren Asher was thinking with making this book this long, but this book could have been 200 pages shorter and it still would have reached the same ending, like regardless. I found myself getting bored while reading this book, not gonna lie. I tried to read as much as I could within one day. I read like 300 pages in like 3 hours, mind you, so I felt really accomplished by that. But also when I got to the 300 page mark, I found myself wanting to DNF this book. No joke, I haven't done that in over a year. But that was like for my mental health well-being, not because I didn't like the book. I did not click with this book. Like towards the end it got better. Like towards the end the chemistry between the characters was finally paying off. Like 350 pages to get to that point doesn't make sense in my head. I don't know if this is categorized as like a slow burn romance, but if that is a slow burn, I'm not a fan of it. I give this one 3 stars when I finished reading it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe it's a 2.5. It got better towards the end, I'm not gonna lie. There was an emotional scene that got me. I enjoyed some aspects of it, but most of the part I was just like not clicking with it. Yeah, so 2.5 for this book. And that's it for the 10 books that I've read. That's it from me. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you are new to the channel. I would love to have you guys here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about these books. If you read them, I want to know what you guys thought. Also, what did you read this month? Let me know. Yeah, I think that's it for me, guys. I am tired, but I still need to edit this video for tomorrow. Yay, why do I do this to myself? I don't know. Today's been a long day. Alright, that's it from me, you guys. Goodbye.